Hello and welcome to the Tower of London for today's Thought for Today. Today's the 15th of December and I welcome you all wherever you are listening to this. I thought this morning that I might just say a little bit about the Advent wreath here and what it means to me, and I'm going to do this hopefully without knocking it off or knocking one of the candles over. So let me tell you a little bit about the symbolism of the Advent wreath. The Advent wreath represents, with these candles round the edge, the 4 Sundays before Christmas Day. On the first Sunday in Advent, this candle is lit to remind us of the patriarchs. These are the people who were the founders, if you like, of God's relationship with the children of Israel, with the people of God that he was calling. And those people the patriarchs were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're the founding patriarchs, if you like. As the story of the progression of the children of Israel went on, of course, they didn't always behave as they should. And so God sent the prophets, the major prophets and the minor prophets. The major prophets being, of course, Isaiah, Jeremiah, and the prophet Ezekiel. He also sent those little minor prophets that we read about in the Old Testament as well, Amos, Hosea, and Joel. So the story of faith is moving along. And then yesterday, Cortland lit the third candle, as I said the prayer, as we were reminded of John the Baptist, the forerunner, if you like, of the birth of Christ, who again intervened to try and prepare the way in this story of the journey of faith. Next Sunday, we light the pink candle, and the pink candle is a reminder of Mary and her part in the story. And then finally, usually at midnight on Christmas Eve, we light this candle as we celebrate the birth of Christ at Christmas, and that most important part in the story of God's intervention, his love for his people in our redemption and our salvation. Now, the way I always look at this Advent wreath is it's a bit like a road map. Or for somebody like me, it's also perhaps a bit like an atlas that moves progressively from one candle to the next candle to the next part in the whole story. And I find that really helpful. On Wednesday, I will conduct the funeral of an old friend, of Susan. Her name has been on our chapel mailing list, and she's been remembered here in the chapel. Susan lived a long life. And as a mother, I remember her. As a mother, as her children, I remember them as well. Then there were her grandchildren. And finally, just a few months ago, she had her very first great-grandchild, Jessica. And I believe that Susan here passed the light on, the light of love, if you like, and all the values that she believed in, onto her children, who in turn have passed them on to her grandchildren. And I believe that Susan, who is here, would hope and believe that that light and love will eventually be passed on to her great-grandchild, Jessica, as well. And I think that's true for all of us, whether we're married or not, whether we have children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren. In the way that we live our lives, we pass the light on, the mantle, if you like, from one generation to another, however difficult it is. And this has been a very difficult year, we all know, with the coronavirus. But here in the chapel, we've tried to keep the light going all the time by our connection with you through this online mailing and through resuming the services that go on here, that hopefully we can pass the light from one generation to another. May you shine as a light in the world, that light being love. Let me finally remind you, it's been said that a single candle in the Royal Albert Hall can be seen from anywhere. Just one tiny light making a difference. We all, through light and love, can make a difference.